And just so you get an idea of what my apartment looks like now, this studio apartment with this video, I mean, this at least is comfort. And it's calm outside, calm and cool and collective. I got my little kitchen. But, as I said, what I'm going to say in a moment, I mean, why I gave up traveling to countries constantly to have the continuous travel. Because you'll hear it. So he's a sadhu man here in Pokhara. So he just gave me a blessing. I gave him some dakshin or some, you know, like a little donation. And this is all part of becoming more spiritually awakened or conscious or aware, whatever you want to call it. But we're all going towards Lakeside right now. So he's like a wandering sadhu with his begging bowl in his left hand. And let's keep going. You can see the cobra right there. A sort of Shiva lingam and the cobra. Shiva is very powerful, very strongly present here in Nepal. I mean, basically the main deity is Shiva in Hinduism here. And then I think Hanuman has some presence too, strong presence. So we're approaching here the lakeside. There's another Shiva temple right here. And this is where the people take the boat across to the mandir, across the lake, in the middle of the lake. And there goes the Shiva mandir there, and there's the Shiva lingam and all. Namaste. And the bells and a representation of Nandi protecting the entrance, and people selling some spiritual things. So yeah. Sarangkot viewpoint, and from there on a clear day or very clear day you can see the Annapurna mountain range. Right now this is the middle of April, but when you're seeing this video it's sometime in June or July, whatever. I decide to post it if I don't forget about it. And I'm going to, this is Pokhara, Lakeside here. It's early morning, it's about 8 o'clock, and I'm going to explain why on this peaceful walk, why I'm just not interested in pursuing the YouTube travel vlogging experience. I'm going to still continue with this channel very sporadically, but in the moment I'll get to that. We got some ghats here, the steps that lead to a body of water, as in India. Here in Nepal they're usually on rivers or on lakes. So, you know, by the time you see this, you know that I'm already back in Colombia, living there, and I'm not into this travel constantly kind of life. It's just not for me. Living a month here or 2 months there, and it's just tiring because sometimes you don't have a good bed, even though sometimes you might pay for an expensive or semi-expensive room experience somewhere in a hotel or whatever. Namaste. And you might experience some of that. I mean, it paid $30, $40, $50 for a night and still not get a good comfortable bed. It might be crappy, as I have seen other vloggers talk about. And I paid for some very cheap accommodation, and most of the time I got bad mattresses, hard, very hard. But that was just me, you know. What do you expect? What do you expect making paying for a $10 room or $8 room, you know, per night in places, or even $7 a night? But it's life. But right now I'm paying $230 here a month for a nice little studio apartment with a little kitchen in it and a nice comfortable bed. nice mattress, nice everything. Here in Pokhara, you can't get that. But anyhow, that's not the point of this video. And so it's very peaceful at this time to walk around here before all the shops and stuff opens up. All the shops open up. Shops and stuff open up. I'm a teacher making grammatical mistakes right now and correcting myself. So no, I didn't want to continue doing that anymore. And also because sometimes I couldn't find, even when I was in Mexico, living in Mexico for 6 months, traveling from place to place for a month or 3 weeks or 2 months. Yeah, sometimes I couldn't find a kitchen through Airbnb. In Mexico, it's more difficult than it is in India or in Nepal to, in the touristy places, to find something like a little apartment that I rented out with a kitchen, or a room with a kitchen, or a room that has access to a kitchen so you can cook for yourself. Because I love cooking for myself since I'm a vegetarian. Vegetarian. I usually don't look at the camera. I like looking out at things walking around. People sometimes I ask, but you have to look more at the camera. No, I don't, because I don't like looking at the camera. I like looking at what I'm walking past. Like over there, I can see a Volkswagen hoisted, an old Beetle, on that wall. I hadn't seen that before. This place is called a Catwalk. So like a more upscale type of a bar, restaurant kind of place. And this is more with Western travelers, Western tourists hang out in Pokhara, because it's much more shanti, quiet here. So yeah, no, it's hard traveling on a bare bones budget or a shoestring budget. And then I was, and then the other thing is, I'm a teacher. I have been a teacher and now online for the last 3 years. But I have been a teacher of the English language for 25 years, just about 25 years. And nowadays, or for a long time, I've been a freelancer. So we only get paid for the hours we work, the hours we teach. And my students are all based in Colombia, the country of Colombia in South America, where my family's from, where my mother was from, where my father is from, and where basically the whole family's from. But my brother and I and a few cousins, we were born and raised in the United States of America. We are the sons of immigrants, immigrant parents. So, nice jersey of the Nepali flag. And then I like that one for a woman, this nice little blouse right here. Looks very nice. But I've seen a blue one. That's kind of like a purplish one. Probably get that for an auntie of mine as a present. An auntie that I appreciate a lot. I appreciate all of them. But one auntie that fits her. It suits her style, her personality, and all of that. So, the freelance life of a teacher or any freelance worker, any independent worker is, in my case, with the hours, and in Colombia, come the month of December and the month of January, December, because Colombia is such a strong Roman Catholic country in terms of the religion, that they don't want any classes in December. Basically, nobody's having or doing lessons, English lessons, having English classes. So my salary, or any teacher's salary, it could be French, English, Spanish, German, or music, or math, plummets, goes down quickly. And then we got to save money for that month. And then in January, most people don't have any money because they spent it all on gifts and vacation and party time, because in Colombia, December and January, that's the summer vacation period, because the end of the school year, whether it be, schools, public schools and private schools, or universities as well, ends in November or the first week of December, but mostly at the end of November. And then people don't go back to school, students, children and adults in terms of universities, they don't go back until late January, and that's when the summer vacation is over. So 2 months we don't make work, we don't do work, we have very little income, and we have to save for that. In addition to that, cancellations. Since we don't get a fixed salary, I have to be very strong with my students. I have to be strict and tell them from the very beginning when they contact me for classes that I have a 1 cancellation per month policy, and they pay me up front. I don't have that pay me later kind of system, because I got stiffed, or I got bamboozled or cheated a couple of times over the years, and I said no more. So they pay me up front, and one cancellation per month policy that if they cancel with ample time, they don't lose that class, and then it's reimbursed in the next month's payment. Like they don't pay for that class, but they pay for all the other classes, and that's it. So why am I telling you all this? So you can understand that background. While it's hard because we're only basically, plus all the holidays that are present in Colombia, the bank holidays or religious holidays, there are a lot of them. So with all those holidays, we don't charge for holidays. We don't charge for that work, for those classes. And some cancellations they might have once a month. And any vacation period they take that I don't charge for that time either. So truly, we, or at least me and some of us, some people in my similar situation, we only get to work 8 or 9 months out of the year. We only have money to save from 8 or 9 months of work. I know it's worse for other people, like the porters and trekking guides here in Nepal. They only have 2 seasons, trekking seasons, and those 2 seasons last a total of 3 or 4 months in the year, and they have it worse. But I'm not living their life, and they're not living mine. I only know what I'm going through, and they only know what they're going through, but I can relate, you know. So with that I'm telling you, it's very difficult to continue traveling when you have the uncertainty that at any time, because then these students of mine don't stay on the whole year. Some people might decide to cease and desist from taking classes for whatever reasons they have. Might be that I suck, might be that they just don't have the money for it, might be that they have other obligations to tend to, or they lost interest in learning English, whatever it is. And then you're always facing uncertainty that the bottom might drop out and you might lose 50% of your workload. And then how are you going to be able to continue traveling with a backpack and a suitcase and pay for your accommodation and your food, travel expenses? And then you might find yourself, as the saying goes in English, high and dry. And you don't want to be high and dry when you're traveling far from home. You got your backpack. Good morning. You have your backpack on you and you have your little thing, but then where do you go? Oh my goodness, I don't have money to pay this month's rent or next month's because I lost a lot of work and I got debts to pay back home too. That'll destroy my credit history, my credit score, and whatever. So basically, let me sum it up now. And looking at these little cottages, they're like these little bungalows. They're like 700 or 800 rupees, Nepali rupees a night. They're very basic. They don't have a bathroom. They have a shared bathroom outside somewhere, like 2 of them. And it's just a little room with a little bed and a little table, and that's it. No kitchen, no cooking facility. So you got to eat at the local restaurants and whatever. So you got to do these things. So let me give it to you. Let me give it to you now. Let me just wind it up now, this video, this talk of why I'm not going to continue with this traveling around the world or in these areas of the world that I was doing. First of all, my dad, and this is coupled at the same time with what I'm just talking about right now. My dad, he's 76 years old, and he just moved back to Colombia last year after living in the US and in Canada for 52 years. He was born and raised in Colombia, but he left when he was 22. And he's 76 now. So he lived a good 52 years of his life in North America, or 53. And he's been asking me indirectly, but not like insinuating, that he needs me. But then recently he just came out with a son, I need you back home. Can you come in here and take care of the country house and the dogs while I go back to Canada and do some things for 6 weeks? And also I feel a little lonely and whatever. And I said, okay, Dad. So I decided I was going to go back to Colombia anyway in November of this year of 2024. But I decided to speed it up just to help him out because I love my dad and I have compassion for him. So that's the first reason, coupled with the other first reason, which is I had already made the decision to go back like in September, October, November of this year. I still wanted to go to Thailand and maybe visit Cambodia and Sri Lanka, but that's not going to happen by the time you see this video. Like I said, I'm already back home. So those are the two reasons, because, you know, the money situation as a freelance teacher, as an independent worker, is never stable. And I just got to go back there where I don't have to pay rent. I have mom's place, even though she passed away. This is our place, my brother and mine. So we have mom's house in Colombia, in the town of Envigado, next to Medellin. And dad's place, where dad lives in Colombia, in the mountains in Guarne. So nice people. They always say what's up to each other. They're very friendly. Nepali people are very friendly in general too, very cool. So those are the two main reasons that I'm just not gonna do the traveling anymore. And out of Colombia, I'll be doing the occasional video there when I travel to some other destination inside of Colombia. And I'm not gonna go abroad. I'm not gonna leave Colombia for a few years, because I'm gonna make it a point to save, pay off my debts with the banks, so I can, because having debts bleeds you out. You know, paying interest on loans, paying interest on a credit card, not the way to go. So I want to pay off those debts too before I fly off to another destination. But the next time I fly out of Colombia will be for a vacation, for a 2 or 3 week vacation to some other country, but always going back to Colombia and living there and saving money for old age, because I was looking at the big picture too. Old age is creeping up, and I need to secure a better old age as best as I can. So those are the explanations. And if you do want to come to Pokhara here in Nepal, and do trekking, this is the place to do it out of, or other adventure sports. Just giving you a little bit of that information. And that's it. That's why I'm not going to be doing any more traveling in Asia or anywhere in the world. And I'm just going to be doing local stuff in there, near my dad's place, mountain biking, and I'll be doing some videos about that. Very short. I'm not going to be doing not even one video per week. I don't even know. So if you want to continue following, cool. If you don't, it's all right. There are so many interesting travel vloggers out there that are constantly traveling the world and going to places, so you can always check them out. Like couples, if you like following couples, you got Witty Travels. What's up, Kathy and Will? And you got other travel couples like Two Mad Explorers, and you got another one, another travel couple. What is their name? I forgot their names, but those are two of them right there. Or then you got the solo travelers like World Nomac. Oh, my cousin and her husband. Los Dos Vamos. Los is in Spanish, but her husband is American from Chicago. He's American all the way, and she's Colombian, but she speaks English pretty well. So if you want to follow some travel vlogging couples, those are three right there. And of course, Harry Jaggard, World Nomac from Chicago, Gabriel Traveler. I like his stuff because he's down to earth, practical, tells stories. He's not doing stupid things and whatever. He's being realistic. But I mean, the people that want to do stupid things, they can do stupid things, and there are people who want to watch those stupid things. It's all good. You know, I'm not knocking on it. I'm just saying it's stupid because I wouldn't do it. So you got Gabriel Traveler. Who else? I don't know. So many people out there. Choose whoever you want to choose and follow them. And me, I'm just going to keep it simple. Trekking, hiking, the occasional video in Medellin or in Envigado, or in some of the small towns in and around Antioquia. Or I'll go to some destinations inside of Colombia, like to Cali, or I'll go to Santa Marta, the beach, or Isla Fuerte. That's a very beautiful place I hope to go back to on a long weekend while I'm living in Colombia again. So that's it, guys. That's it. Catch you on the rebound.